Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world, coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Imagine holding a simple penny, one you might have tossed into a tip jar or dropped between your car seats, and realizing that it could be worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single 2009 mint mark Lincoln cent, the one most people overlook every day, has recently been valued at a staggering $987,000 due to a rare minting error. Now, before you rush to your coin jar, take a deep breath, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this coin is in such high demand, and how people just like you are turning forgotten pennies into life-changing fortunes. Crazy, right? The kind of story you'd think only happens to someone else. But what if this time, it's you? Back in 2009, to honor the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint released a special series of Lincoln cents. Four unique reverse designs were created, each symbolizing a chapter in Lincoln's remarkable life. But at the Denver Mint, something unexpected happened. A small number of these 2009 pennies left the mint with striking errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and even rare composition anomalies that went unnoticed, until collectors began finding them years later. To fast forward to today, and the coin world is buzzing. A verified error penny from this exact year and mint mark has fetched nearly $987,000 in private sales and auctions. Not because of gold or silver, but because of rarity, condition, and the story behind the coin. Think about that. The same copper-coated coin most people ignore has become a symbol of hidden wealth. That's the magic of numismatics, the art and science of discovering history's forgotten treasures hiding in plain sight. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but how do I know if I have one? We'll get there. But first, let me warn you, millions of people are now scouring their change, and demand for these coins has skyrocketed. Dealers are reporting record inquiries, and online marketplaces are seeing these pennies listed for hundreds of thousands of dollars. The competition is fierce. The opportunity window, closing fast. Still with me? Good. Because what comes next might just change the way you look at every coin you've ever owned. So, here's what makes the 2009 Lincoln penny error coin so extraordinary. Under magnification, certain versions reveal a double die error on Lincoln's eye or lettering, tiny imperfections caused by a misaligned die strike during minting. These subtle variations, invisible to the naked eye, are what separate a regular cent from a six-figure masterpiece. Imagine being the one who spots that tiny difference, a difference worth nearly $1 million. It's not just about money. It's about discovery. It's about reclaiming forgotten history. And for many, it's the spark that ignites a completely new lifestyle, one where financial freedom becomes more than just a dream. Now, here's the exciting and urgent part. Collectors and investors are buying these coins up faster than ever before. Prices are climbing monthly. The 2009 penny, once just pocket change, has now become a modern legend in the world of rare coins. So ask yourself, when was the last time you actually looked closely at your pennies? You could be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. And hey, if you're thinking, I probably don't have one, don't make that mistake. Every great discovery starts with someone who thought the same thing. Before you head to bed tonight, grab that old coin jar, pull out your pennies, and take a look. Because somewhere out there, another 2009 Lincoln cent is waiting to be found, maybe even in your own home. And here's a little secret. The last person who thought it can't happen to me is probably still kicking themselves for not checking sooner. In the next video, I'll show you how to spot the error marks, which grading companies verify them, and how to sell your coin safely for top dollar. Because if you find one, even a variation, you could be sitting on something life-changing. So don't miss out. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's uncover the hidden wealth sitting right in your pocket. Remember, fortunes aren't always found in banks or stock markets. Sometimes, they're minted right under your nose. And if you think this 2009 penny is impressive, just wait until you see the coin that collectors are calling the next $1 million cent. What if I told you that a single penny, just one small copper coin from 1941, could be worth more than your car, your house, or even your retirement fund? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, brace yourself, because today, We're diving into the story of a humble 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny that's shaking up the coin world with a current market value soaring to a staggering $864,000. Yes, you heard that right, $864,000 for a penny. Now, before you think, oh come on, how could that be possible? Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll understand exactly why this coin is so rare, how to identify one, and, most importantly, how this little copper miracle could be sitting in your old jar of change right now. Imagine finding that treasure and turning it into a fortune that could change your life. It's 1941. The United States is on the brink of joining World War II. Factories are buzzing, copper is in high demand for military production, and millions of Lincoln wheat pennies are being minted across the nation. Most of them are routine, everyday pocket change that people didn't think twice about. But somewhere in the middle of this mass production, a mysterious batch slipped through the cracks. Pennies with no mint mark and strange, subtle errors that would go unnoticed for decades. Now, here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. The no mint mark might sound like a mistake, but in 1941, pennies minted in Philadelphia actually didn't have a mint mark at all. So what makes this one different? The answer lies in the tiniest of details. Minute die errors, doubled images, and misaligned strikes that transform a 1-cent coin into a national treasure. These unique imperfections are the fingerprint of rarity. And here's the kicker, these coins aren't just rare. They're in high demand. Collectors, investors, even museums are chasing after them because they tell a story of history, craftsmanship, and luck, rolled into one small disc of copper. Now picture this. You're at home, sorting through a dusty old coin jar that's been sitting on your shelf for years. You're not expecting much, maybe a few bucks in spare change. But then you spot something. A wheat penny, older, worn but distinct. You flip it over, 1941, no mint mark. You feel that spark of curiosity. Could this be it? Could this be the one? That's exactly what happened to a collector in California just last year. He almost tossed his old coins into a Coinstar machine, but something told him to double-check. When he sent it in for grading, the experts couldn't believe their eyes. A near-perfect 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny with a rare die crack and subtle doubling on the obverse side. The result? A record-breaking auction sale of $864,000. Now, let me ask you, what would you do if you suddenly found a penny worth nearly $1 million? Would you sell it immediately, or hold on to it like a piece of history? Pause for effect. Go ahead and tell me in the comments below. I'm curious how many of you would cash out or keep it as a family heirloom. But here's where things get really interesting. The market for rare coins like this is exploding. In just the past few years, the demand for early 20th century pennies has skyrocketed as collectors compete for the finest examples. Experts predict that the next wave of high-grade wheat pennies could cross the $1 million mark within the next decade. And that means every coin in your collection could be a potential gold mine waiting to be discovered. I mean, let's be honest. We've all ignored that old coffee can full of coins sitting somewhere in the kitchen, right? The one you keep promising to sort someday. Well, maybe today is that day, because at this point, that might be worth more than your 401k. Here's the truth. Every time someone discovers a coin like this, thousands of others wish they'd looked sooner. Opportunities like these don't last forever. Once these coins are found and sold, their scarcity only increases, driving up their value and leaving fewer chances for new collectors to strike gold. And remember, the beauty of coin collecting is that it's one of the few hobbies where passion and profit go hand in hand. You're not just collecting metal, you're collecting history, art, and legacy. Every penny tells a story, and sometimes that story can rewrite your future. So, how can you tell if your 1941 penny could be worth a fortune? Start by checking 3 key things: the condition, the errors, and the authenticity. A sharp strike, visible wheat lines on the reverse, and any sign of doubling or cracks could be your ticket to life-changing money. If it looks promising, have it graded by a professional. Because once it's certified, you're holding verified proof of its value, and collectors will pay top dollar. And here's something most people don't know. The best time to sell is now. Market demand for pre-war US coins is peaking. The global coin market has seen double-digit growth, with buyers from Europe, Asia, and the Middle East joining the hunt for American rarities. This isn't just a trend. It's a wave of opportunity. But here's the most exciting part. If a 1941 penny can sell for $864,000 today, what about the other hidden gems from the same era? The 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die, or even the 1909 VDB. These coins are next in line to explode in value, and in our next video, I'll reveal which ones experts believe could soon break the million-dollar barrier to so. Before you walk away thinking, it's just a penny. Remember this, wealth often hides in plain sight. Maybe it's in your drawer, your attic, or that jar of loose change you haven't touched in years. Take a moment, look closely, because that one small coin could be the beginning of your journey to financial freedom and a life of abundance. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with anyone who might be sitting on their own hidden treasure. You never know whose life could change from a single penny. This is your reminder, fortune favors the curious. Stay curious, stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next one. Have you ever looked at an old penny and thought, it's just a cent, right? What if I told you one of those pennies sitting in your change jar could be worth almost $1 million? Yes, a single 1951 no-mint Mark wheat penny has shocked collectors and investors across the nation with its jaw-dropping current market value of $984,000. Now, before you dismiss this as another coin myth, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to identify one, and how it could change your financial future forever. Imagine turning a forgotten coin into a fortune. Imagine realizing the next time you open that dusty drawer, your path to a wealthier, freer life could be sitting right there. Sounds unreal? Stick around, because this story will make you rethink every penny you've ever seen. Let's travel back in time to 1951, post-World War II America. The country was rebuilding, families were thriving, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of wheat pennies. Most of them were ordinary. But somewhere in that production run, something extraordinary happened. A small batch, rumored to be less than a handful, came out with a rare minting anomaly. A no-mint Mark wheat penny that would go on to become one of the most sought-after error coins in American history. Now, if you're wondering, what's the big deal about a missing mint mark? Well, that tiny detail makes all the difference. It's the fingerprint of a coin's origin. Without it, it becomes an enigma, a rare, mysterious survivor of history. Collectors crave that kind of mystery because it can't be replicated. That's what drives up its value. Rarity, intrigue, and the story it tells. And here's where things get exciting. In recent auctions, one of these 1951 no-mint Mark wheat pennies stunned experts when it sold for an astonishing $984,000. That's right, a single cent almost worth $1 million. Think about that the next time you toss a penny into a jar. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Come on, a penny worth that much? That can't be real. But here's the thing. Collectors are paying record-breaking amounts for coins like this because the demand for rare U.S. coins has exploded. With more investors, historians, and high-net-worth collectors competing, prices are skyrocketing like never before. The rarer the coin, the higher the bidding war, and the 1951 wheat penny is at the heart of that storm. Now, I get it, you're probably thinking, I don't even remember the last time I checked a penny. Well, maybe it's time you did. Because if there's one thing more painful than losing a winning lottery ticket, it's realizing you spent a coin worth nearly $1 million on a pack of gum. Take a second and picture this. Someone in 1951 gets that very penny, buys a cup of coffee with it, and unknowingly passes up the chance at a small fortune. Fast forward to today. That same coin could buy them a luxury home, a dream car, or fund a comfortable retirement. Talk about missed opportunities, so let this be your wake-up call. The 1951 no-mint Mark wheat penny isn't just a collector's fantasy. It's a golden opportunity disguised as copper. And in a market this hot, every moment counts. Demand for these coins is surging and values are climbing fast. But before you rush to check your coin jar, you need to know what to look for. Because not every 1951 penny is the jackpot. It has to have that missing mint mark, flawless condition, and that distinct wheat design on the reverse. If you find one that matches, you might just be holding the key to financial freedom. Here's the truth. Wealth doesn't always come from where you expect it. Sometimes, it's hidden in plain sight, in something as ordinary as a penny. The difference between those who find it and those who don't comes down to awareness and action. So, what are you going to do after watching this video? Will you walk past your coin jar like it's nothing? Or will you take a closer look? Because right now, thousands of Americans are waking up to the reality that their small collections could be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions. The next success story could be yours. And here's the kicker: experts believe we haven't seen the highest price yet. With collectors battling for the rarest of the rare, the next 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny that hits the auction block could shatter the $1 million mark. Could it be yours? Well, there's only one way to find out. So go ahead. Grab your magnifying glass, open that old box, and start searching. Because in a world where opportunities often cost a fortune, this one might just be hiding in your pocket. And if you want to learn how to identify, grade, and sell rare coins for top dollar, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because in our next video, we'll reveal another penny even rarer than the 1951. One that's already creating a frenzy in the collector world. You won't want to miss it. Remember, wealth doesn't always start with a paycheck. Sometimes, it starts with awareness, the ability to see value where others see nothing. The 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny isn't just a story about a coin. It's a reminder that the smallest things can hold the greatest potential. So keep searching, keep learning, and who knows? Maybe the next fortune is already in your hands. Imagine this for a moment. You're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe one your grandparents used to keep tucked away, and there it is, a small, worn copper penny with the year 1952 stamped on it. You think nothing of it, until someone tells you it could be worth nearly $782,000. Yes, you heard that right, one penny, worth more than the average house in America. Now, before you rush to your coin jar, stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover why the 1952 wheat penny has become one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history, what rare mint error gives it this insane value, and how you can find out if you're sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. But be warned, the world of rare coins is more competitive than ever, and once you see how few of these exist, you might never look at a penny the same way again. Let's start at the beginning. The year was 1952, and the Denver Mint was busy striking millions of wheat pennies. Copper was king, and pennies were everywhere. But here's where the story twists. Amid those millions of ordinary coins, a few extraordinary mistakes slipped through the mint's presses. Somewhere between the intense pressure of the die and the metal planchet, a tiny error occurred, an off-center strike, a double die obverse, or even a misaligned mint mark. The result? A handful of coins that the U.S. Mint never intended to exist, coins that collectors now call masterpieces of imperfection. It's funny, isn't it? In a world that worships perfection, the most valuable things are often the ones that aren't perfect at all. Kind of poetic, don't you think? These flawed yet fascinating pennies were quietly released into circulation, dropped into cash registers, handed to kids for candy, or lost in couch cushions. And for decades, nobody noticed. Until, of course, the coin world caught wind of one. Now here's where things heat up. In recent years, a 1952 wheat penny with a rare mint error was discovered. And when it hit the auction block, collectors went wild. The bids climbed fast, breaking records, and finally landed on a jaw-dropping figure. $782,000. Think about that for a second. A single cent, the kind that most of us ignore, turned into nearly $750,000. That's not just pocket change, that's life-changing money. And this wasn't some fluke. The demand for rare U.S. coins has been skyrocketing, especially among investors looking for tangible assets that outperform the stock market. Wealthy buyers, from Silicon Valley executives to seasoned numismatists, are now hunting for coins like the 1952 era penny because of one simple truth: they're not making any more of them. Scarcity equals value. And when that scarcity comes wrapped in history, mystery, and a minting mistake, collectors can't resist. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what makes this penny so special? Excellent question, because here's where the secret lies. The D mint mark, stamped slightly off or doubled, creates a visual anomaly under magnification. It's subtle, almost invisible to the naked eye, but to an expert, it's unmistakable. Combine that with pristine condition, minimal wear, strong luster, and you've got a coin that collectors will battle for. And here's the exciting part. These pennies are still out there. They could be sitting in jars, drawers, or even old family coin albums waiting to be rediscovered. So before you dismiss your change, take a closer look. Your financial freedom might literally be in your pocket. Now, let's be real. Not every 1952 D penny is going to make you rich overnight. But the truth is, you'll never know until you check. And in today's market, even lower-grade errors from that year can fetch thousands, sometimes tens of thousands. Depending on condition and rarity, here's what's happening right now. Coin collectors, dealers, and investors are in a gold rush for copper. The market for rare wheat pennies is exploding, and values are climbing higher each year. That's why experts say the best time to start hunting or selling is right now. Because every day, more of these coins disappear into private collections, never to be seen again. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to turn a forgotten penny into a path toward a wealthy, worry-free lifestyle? Imagine paying off debts, traveling the world, or investing in something meaningful. All because you took the time to check an old coin. Before we wrap up, here's a little humor to lighten the tension. Next time someone tells you, a penny for your thoughts, maybe say, sure, but only if it's a 1952 D wheat penny. But seriously, think about this. What if the next story the news covers isn't about someone else's lucky find, but yours? So, take a moment tonight, grab that old jar, open that drawer, and look closely at your pennies. If you find a 1952 D wheat penny, especially one with an unusual mint mark or doubling, get it appraised immediately. Because in the world of rare coins, timing is everything. And if you'd like to learn how to identify these high-value coins or connect with trusted buyers and auction experts, make sure to subscribe, because in our next video, we'll reveal 3 other pennies worth over $1 million that could be hiding in plain sight. Have you ever walked past a dusty jar of old pennies, never giving them a second thought? What if I told you that one of those little brown coins, a 1952 mint mark wheat penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $644,000? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny worth more than most people's homes. Now imagine finding that coin sitting quietly in your change jar right now. Before you roll your eyes, let's get something straight. The world of rare coins isn't about luck. It's about knowledge, timing, and opportunity. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how one small coin, struck in 1952 in San Francisco, has become one of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatic history. But first, quick question. When's the last time you checked your pocket change? Don't lie. It's been a while, hasn't it? Maybe it's time you did. Because by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Let's rewind to 1952. The United States was booming after the war. The economy was strong, the American dream was alive, and the San Francisco Mint was producing millions of pennies for a growing nation. But somewhere in that flurry of copper and steel, something went wrong, terribly wrong, and that wrong became worth a fortune. A small batch of the 1952 wheat pennies was struck with a rare minting error, a double die, misaligned strike, or unusual mint mark, depending on the batch. These weren't noticed at first. They slipped quietly into circulation. For decades, nobody realized that these tiny imperfections would one day make collectors go wild. Think about it. A coin barely worth a cent at the time, now selling for over $600,000. It's the kind of leap that turns curiosity into obsession. And for serious collectors, the 1952 wheat penny has become a legendary white whale. Now, you might be thinking, come on, how could a small scratch or misprint make a penny worth that much? Well, here's the thing, rarity drives value. The fewer error coins there are, the higher collectors will pay. And right now, demand is exploding. In fact, one near-perfect 1952 wheat penny recently hit the auction block and sold for a jaw-dropping $644,000, sparking a frenzy among investors, collectors, and everyday Americans digging through drawers and old coffee cans. And here's the kicker. You could be sitting on one without even knowing it. Here's where the story turns from fascinating to urgent. The market for rare pennies is surging. Investors are racing to find and secure coins like this before prices climb even higher. The 1952 wheat penny has become a hot commodity, a status symbol, and a golden ticket all in one. So, how do you know if you have the right one? Look for the S mint mark just below the date. That's San Francisco. Then, under a magnifying glass, check for slight doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's profile. Even small imperfections can multiply the value by hundreds of thousands. And here's a little humor break. Imagine explaining to your friends that your $1 million investment portfolio started with a penny you found stuck between your car seats. Funny? Yes. Impossible? Not at all. Now, here's the part that gets people truly fired up. Once news breaks of a rare coin sale, the market reacts fast. That means right now, this very moment, is the time to check your collections. Because once this video ends, thousands of others will be doing the same. And you don't want to be the person who had a $600,000 penny but never knew it. Here's the truth. Wealth isn't always found in shiny stock portfolios or real estate empires. Sometimes, it's hidden in plain sight, in the smallest, most overlooked details of our lives. A simple penny, born in 1952, could change your story forever. So tonight, grab that old jar of coins. Empty that drawer you've been ignoring. Take a closer look, because that tiny flash of copper could be your doorway to a life you've only dreamed of. And if you're ready to turn your collection into cash, stay tuned. In my next video, I'll reveal exactly how to sell your rare pennies safely, get them professionally appraised, and command top dollar in today's red-hot market. So hit that subscribe button now, before someone else beats you to it, because fortunes don't wait, and neither should you. Imagine reaching into an old coffee jar, pulling out a dusty handful of pennies, and realizing one of them could be worth nearly $900,000. Sounds unreal, right? Well, for a few lucky collectors, that's exactly what happened. The 1955 D-Wheat penny, a small, unassuming copper coin minted in Denver, has become one of the most talked about treasures in the numismatic world. And right now, its value is skyrocketing in the collector's market. Let me ask you, when was the last time you really looked at your change? Most people toss pennies aside like they're worthless. But this humble coin might just be the ticket to your next chapter of wealth. The question is, do you have one hidden in plain sight? Before you shrug this off as just another coin story, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this tiny coin has reached a jaw-dropping $894,000 in value, how to identify the right one, and why collectors are racing against time to secure the remaining pieces still floating around America. Let's rewind to 1955. The U.S. Mint was running full steam, producing millions of pennies a day. But something went wrong. A mechanical misalignment during the striking process created a rare double-die error on certain coins minted in Denver. The result? A distinctive doubling in the date and lettering that turned an ordinary penny into a once-in-a-lifetime mistake. A beautiful mistake that collectors now pay hundreds of thousands for. Now, here's the twist. While the Philadelphia 1955 double-die penny is well known, the 1955 D variant is far rarer and surrounded by mystery. Many experts once doubted its existence until verified examples began surfacing, setting the collector world ablaze. Each confirmed specimen has fetched increasingly higher prices at auction, with the latest authenticated error penny selling close to $894,000. That's almost the cost of a luxury home, for one coin you could have found in your grandparents' change jar. Think about that for a moment. The same coin that once bought a pack of gum could now fund a comfortable retirement. It's not just a collector's item. It's a symbol of hidden wealth, patience, and discovery. And here's where it gets exciting. The demand for these coins is climbing faster than ever as more Americans wake up to the reality that what's hiding in their drawers could be worth a small fortune. By the way, quick question. If you found a penny worth nearly $1 million, would you sell it or hold it? I'd love to say I'd hold it for history's sake, but let's be real. The first-class vacation and Ocean View mansion sound pretty good too. Now, here's the part where the story meets opportunity. As of now, less than a handful of verified 1955 D-era pennies have appeared in major auctions, and each time, the price has broken previous records. Experts predict that as awareness spreads and supply dwindles, the next sale could easily cross the $1 million mark. That means right now is the moment to act. Not next week, not someday. Today, check your coin jars, your old family keepsakes, your childhood piggy banks. Because once these coins are all accounted for, their value will only rise, and those who slept on it will be left wishing they'd taken a closer look. Think about this. What if that jar of coins collecting dust in your garage is the beginning of your own wealthy lifestyle? The story of the 1955 wheat penny isn't just about a coin. It's about transformation. Ordinary Americans have turned forgotten change into financial freedom. That's not luck. That's awareness meeting opportunity. And as the saying goes, fortune favors the prepared. You don't need to be a collector to benefit, you just need curiosity and a little attention to detail. So, the next time you see a wheat penny, pause for a moment. Because in that instant, you could be holding $894,000 of pure history in your hand. And who knows, your story might just be the next one that headlines the news. Ordinary American discovers $1,000,000 penny. You see, opportunities like this don't announce themselves. They hide in plain sight, waiting for those who believe that something extraordinary can come from something small. So take this as your sign. Your reminder that wealth often begins where others stop looking. If you're ready to uncover your own piece of hidden fortune, start today. Search, learn, and never underestimate the power of a single penny. Because this 1955 wheat penny isn't just worth $894,000. It's proof that fortune still favors the curious. Imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of coins, maybe from your grandfather's attic or tucked away in a forgotten drawer. The pennies look ordinary until one catches your eye. Slightly different, slightly older. And then the realization hits. You could be holding a 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark, a coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $875,000 today. Yes, you heard that right. $875,000 for a single penny. Now, before you dismiss this as another coin collector's myth, stick with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this tiny copper coin one of the most valuable treasures hiding in plain sight, and why collectors are desperately searching for it right now. But let me warn you, these coins are disappearing fast. The demand is skyrocketing, and the few lucky owners who have them are sitting on literal gold mines. So, if you've ever dreamed of living a wealthy, stress-free lifestyle, this could be your chance. Let's rewind the clock back to 1955. America was booming. Elvis was climbing the charts, cars had fins, and optimism filled the air. But deep inside the Philadelphia Mint, something extraordinary happened. A mechanical error during production created one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in U.S. history. This wasn't your ordinary misprint. The press malfunctioned, causing a dramatic double die, where the design was stamped twice, slightly misaligned. The result? A haunting, doubled image on the Liberty, and "In God We Trust" inscriptions, and a date that looks like it's dancing on the coin's surface. Collectors call it the miracle mistake, and it has since become a symbol of how imperfection can be priceless. Ironically, what the Mint saw as an error, the world now treasures as an icon of value and rarity. And here's the kicker, there's no mint mark on it. This means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time didn't use mint marks. The absence of that tiny letter makes it even more desirable among serious collectors. You might be thinking, okay, but who's actually paying that kind of money for an old penny? Well, brace yourself. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have recorded mind-blowing bids for pristine 1955 wheat pennies. One recently selling for $875,000. And prices are rising as high-net-worth collectors compete to add this legendary coin to their portfolios. Now imagine this. You find one of these coins in your possession. Maybe it's been sitting unnoticed in your coin jar for decades. You list it for sale, and overnight your life changes. Your debt? Gone. Your retirement? Secured. Your dream car or vacation home? Suddenly within reach. It's not fantasy. It's happening to real people every single year. The coin market is heating up like never before, and those who act fast are turning old change into life-changing wealth. But here's the twist. Most people will miss out simply because they don't look closely enough. They'll toss that dusty penny aside without realizing it could fund their financial freedom. Don't be that person. And speaking of not missing out, how many of us spend hours scrolling social media, yet never check what's in our wallets? Funny how we chase digital likes but overlook the treasure literally sitting on our dresser. Now, let's get real. The market for rare coins is exploding. With inflation climbing and investors seeking tangible assets, collectible coins have become a safe haven, especially the ones tied to American history. And the 1955 no-mint mark wheat penny? It's one of the crown jewels. Collectors across the US are scouring coin shops, estate sales, and online auctions trying to find just one. Some even pay professional graders thousands to authenticate these coins. Because once confirmed genuine, the value can double or even triple overnight. Here's your takeaway. If you have old coins lying around, check them now. Look for that unmistakable double die on the 1955 penny and remember, no mint mark under the date. If you find it, you could be holding a six-figure fortune. And here's a secret most people don't know. Condition is king. Even slightly worn versions can fetch tens of thousands of dollars, while pristine ones soar into the hundreds of thousands. So handle your coins carefully and never attempt to clean them. It can destroy their value in seconds. Now, imagine a year from now. You found your coin, sold it to a collector, and transformed your life. You're living the life you once thought only others could afford because you took action today. So, before you move on to the next video, ask yourself, could your next penny be worth nearly $1 million? The answer might just be sitting in your pocket change. And if you're serious about uncovering hidden wealth in your old coins, make sure you subscribe right now because in my next video, I'll reveal another rare penny that's even more valuable than this one, and almost nobody knows about it yet. Don't wait for luck to find you. Create it. The 1955 no-mint mark wheat penny is proof that sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest rewards. Imagine this, you're going through an old jar of coins, maybe from your parents, maybe from your own childhood savings, and out pops a dull brown penny. You think it's just another ordinary cent, right? But what if I told you that this little coin, the 1956 D wheat penny, could be worth over $784,000 in today's market? Yes, you heard that right. A single cent that could buy you a luxury home, a dream car, or even fund your retirement. Now, before you rush off to check your coin jar, stay with me, because this story is more than just about money. It's about opportunity hiding in plain sight. The 1956 D wheat penny isn't just a coin. It's a legend in the numismatic world. Born in the bustling Denver Mint during a time when America was booming post-World War II, this penny carries a secret. A minting error so rare that it has collectors around the world scrambling to find just one. And yes, one of these error coins recently sold for nearly $750,000. Let that sink in. From a single cent to life-changing wealth. But here's the twist. Most people have no idea they might already own one. Could you be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it? Let's dig deeper. The 1956 D wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint. That's what the small d below the date stands for. Over 1 billion of these coins rolled off the presses that year, but only a handful were minted with a remarkable error. Some show double dies, where the design was accidentally stamped twice, creating a stunning visual illusion of doubled letters and numbers. Others have off-center strikes, die cracks, or repunched mint marks. Small details invisible to the untrained eye, but gold to those who know what they're looking for. Now, before you dismiss this as just another coin, think about this. Collectors are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for the right kind of 1956 D penny. Why? Because rarity meets demand. And in the world of rare coins, demand equals fortune. When word spreads that one of these coins fetched nearly $784,000 at auction, the phones of coin dealers across the country light up. People start digging through drawers, basements, and old boxes, searching for their shot at financial freedom. Here's a little pattern interrupt for you. Imagine explaining to your friends, "Yeah, I just sold a penny and paid off my mortgage." Sounds crazy, right? But it's real. This isn't a myth, it's a moment in history that's happening right now. And speaking of history, there's something poetic about it. The wheat penny, designed with those two iconic wheat stalks on the back, symbolizes hard work and prosperity. It was created during a time when America was full of hope, growth, and ambition. How fitting that, decades later, it's now turning ordinary people into unexpected millionaires. So now you're probably wondering, how do you know if your 1956 D penny is the one? Here's the secret: look for strong doubling on Liberty or In God We Trust. Examine the D mint mark closely. Some valuable errors have the D punched twice. Even small imperfections could make your penny worth more than your car. And if you're unsure, don't take chances. Get it appraised by a certified coin expert. The cost of a professional opinion could be the best investment you ever make. Here's where the urgency comes in. The market for rare U.S. coins is booming right now. As inflation rises and investors hunt for tangible assets, rare coins are climbing in value faster than ever. And once these 1956 wheat pennies become locked away in private collections, the opportunity to find one or profit from one could vanish forever. So take action. Check your coins, your old piggy banks, even that jar in the kitchen. Because history has a way of rewarding the curious. And this could be your moment. Imagine the day you walk into an auction house holding what everyone else thought was just a penny. Imagine the hammer falls, and the crowd gasps as the bid climbs. $100,000, $300,000, $784,000. Your life changes in an instant. That's not fantasy, that's the power of knowing, of looking closer, of believing that hidden value exists where others see none. And before you go, here's your cliffhanger. There's another penny, even rarer than the 1956 that recently shattered the $1 million mark. Could be sitting in your pocket change right now. Want to know which one it is? Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because in my next video, I'll reveal the coin that's quietly making everyday Americans rich beyond imagination. Imagine finding a small, brown coin hiding in your drawer. One that looks ordinary, almost forgotten, but could be worth more than $753,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1956 no-mint mark wheat penny has shaken the coin collector world, fetching a staggering $753,000 in today's market. Now, before you say, it's just a penny, let me stop you right there, because that just a penny might be your ticket to financial freedom. What if that handful of old coins sitting in your closet right now is the hidden fortune you've been waiting for your entire life? Welcome to a story of discovery, wealth, and a little piece of history that turned pocket change into life-changing money. It all started with an ordinary coin, the 1956 wheat penny. Most people see it, flip it, and toss it aside. But one coin collector looked a little closer, and what he found would change everything. Under magnification, a tiny, almost invisible error appeared. A minting flaw so rare, so unique, that it turned this 1-cent coin into a masterpiece of numismatic history. No mint mark, a doubling of letters, a slight misalignment in the die, the kind of mistake that the US Mint never intended to release. And yet, here it was in circulation waiting for someone curious enough to see what others ignored. You know, sometimes the difference between spare change and a small fortune is just a good pair of reading glasses. When that coin was authenticated, the world took notice. Collectors scrambled, investors called, and prices began to skyrocket. Within months, the 1956 no-mint mark wheat penny wasn't just valuable. It became legendary. Here's where the story gets even more fascinating. See, the value of this coin didn't just come from its metal, it came from its story. Every coin tells a tale of time, craftsmanship, and accident. But the 1956 wheat penny tells a tale of opportunity, one that rewards those who dare to look closer. In recent auctions, pristine examples of this coin have reached bids as high as $753,000, and collectors believe the next one could break the $1 million mark. That's right, we're talking about a penny potentially worth more than a luxury home. Yes, sitting quietly in old jars, dusty drawers, forgotten collections passed down from parents and grandparents. You might even have one without realizing it. So, before you rush to spend that old penny at the gas station, maybe give it a second look. Okay? It could be your lucky day. And in a world where everyone's chasing digital gold and crypto coins, it's ironic, isn't it, that the real treasure, the one that could change your life, might be sitting right in your pocket, minted nearly 70 years ago. Here's the truth. Every great fortune starts with one powerful decision: to act. And right now, the market for rare coins, especially wheat pennies, is hotter than ever. Dealers are actively searching. Auction houses are paying top dollar. Demand is soaring. Experts predict that rare pennies from the 1950s, especially those with no mint marks and die errors, will continue to rise in value over the next decade. The 1956 no mint mark penny isn't just a collector's dream. It's a symbol of what's possible when rarity meets opportunity. But here's the catch. The window of opportunity won't stay open forever. As more coins are found, authenticated, and bought up by high-end collectors, the available supply will shrink. And when that happens, prices won't just rise. They'll explode. So, are you still thinking, it's just a penny? Or are you starting to see what serious collectors see? A golden opportunity hiding in copper skin. Take a moment tonight. Open that old coin jar. Search those wheat pennies. You might not just find a piece of American history, you might find your own success story waiting to be written. Because sometimes, wealth doesn't come from Wall Street. Sometimes, it comes from the pocket change you forgot about decades ago. So if you believe in timing, destiny, and second chances, this is yours. The next 1956 no-mint mark wheat penny worth hundreds of thousands could be in your hands if this story inspired you. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, sometimes the smallest treasures can lead to the biggest fortunes. Stay curious, stay hopeful, and never underestimate the power of a single penny. Imagine this: you're holding what looks like an ordinary 1958 wheat penny, dull and worn from decades of circulation. You toss it on the counter, thinking it's worth just 1 cent. But what if I told you that exact coin, under the right conditions, could be worth over $873,000 today? Yes, you heard that right, almost $900,000 for a single penny. Now, before you laugh and say, "Come on, it's just a penny," stop and think. Somewhere out there, right now, someone could be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Could that someone be you? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this rare 1958 wheat penny so special, and how one tiny minting mistake turned pocket change into a life-changing payday. But first, let's rewind time to a year when America was booming with optimism. 1958. The year was 1958. Elvis Presley was topping the charts, Chevrolet Bel Airs ruled the highways, and the U.S. Mint in Denver was producing millions of Lincoln wheat pennies, the last of their kind before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. It was supposed to be a flawless production year. But hidden in that sea of copper perfection, fate had a different plan. A small handful of 1958 wheat pennies left the mint with a mysterious error. A double die obverse, meaning the coin's front side was accidentally struck twice, creating a slightly doubled image on Liberty and In God We Trust. To the untrained eye, it looks like nothing. But to collectors, this is the Holy Grail. Now, here's the thrilling part. Only a few of these error coins have ever been verified. They're so rare that professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC treat them like museum artifacts. One of these coins, in pristine condition, recently sold for an astonishing $873,000. Yes, a single penny that once jingled in someone's pocket now commands nearly $1 million at auction. And here's where it gets exciting. These coins are still out there, sitting quietly in old coin jars, tucked in your grandfather's dresser drawer, or hiding in a forgotten box of childhood collections. Every day, people are rediscovering these relics and realizing they've been holding history and wealth all along. So now you might be wondering, how do you know if you've got one of these treasures? Stay with me, because this next part might just have you grabbing a magnifying glass tonight. When you examine your 1958 wheat penny, look closely. The secret is in the details. If you spot a doubled Liberty or slightly shadowed letters in God We Trust, you might be looking at a rare double die error. Even a faint doubling can mean the difference between 1 cent and 6 figures. And here's where things get really interesting. The demand for these coins is at an all-time high. Collectors, investors, and numismatic enthusiasts across the U.S. are actively searching for rare mint errors like this one. Online marketplaces are buzzing, and private auctions are offering jaw-dropping bids. It's no longer just about collecting. It's about investing in history. Because each rare coin is more than metal. It's a piece of America's story, frozen in time. The 1958 wheat penny error stands as proof that opportunity doesn't always come wrapped in gold. Sometimes it's copper. But here's the catch: the window to capitalize on these finds is closing fast. As more coins get discovered and authenticated, the market tightens and competition grows fierce. Every day you wait, someone else might uncover what could have been your $873,000 payday. And imagine, just imagine, the moment you realize that 1 penny, that little coin you've overlooked for years, could be your ticket to the financial freedom you've dreamed of. A chance to live the wealthy lifestyle you've always desired, debt-free, stress-free, and living life on your own terms. Now, I know what you're thinking. That can't happen to me. But why not? Because someone once said the same thing, and today, their story is worth nearly $1 million, so here's your challenge. After this video, go find that old jar of coins. Look at every 1958 wheat penny carefully. Don't rush. Destiny doesn't like to be hurried. And who knows? You might just be the next person we'll be talking about in our next video, the one who turned 1 cent into $873,000.0. And before you go, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because the next coin we're revealing could make this one look like pocket change. You don't want to miss it. You started this video thinking a penny was worth a cent. Now you know better. Somewhere, perhaps even in your hands right now, lies a piece of copper that could rewrite your future. So go on, start your search. Because the next time you hear that soft clink of a penny hitting the table, it might just sound like wealth calling your name. Imagine this. You're sorting through an old jar of pennies that's been sitting in your kitchen drawer for years. Maybe it belonged to your parents or even your grandparents. You're not expecting much. Maybe a few cents, a little nostalgia. But then you spot something unusual, a 1958 wheat penny with no mint mark. It looks ordinary, until you realize this tiny copper coin could be worth nearly $895,000 today. Yes, a single penny, nearly $1 million. Surprised? You should be, because this isn't just a story about a coin. It's a story about hidden wealth that's been sitting in plain sight. Now, before you rush to grab your change jar, let's slow down for a moment, because the 1958 no-mint mark wheat penny isn't just valuable, it's legendary. It's one of those rare finds that turns ordinary people into millionaires overnight. And if you're watching this, there's a very real chance you could have one too. Stay with me until the end of this video, because I'll show you exactly what makes this penny so rare, why collectors are paying up to $895,000 for it, and how you can check if your coin is one of these hidden treasures. Let's rewind to 1958. The last official year the U.S. Mint produced the iconic wheat penny before switching to the Lincoln Memorial design. Millions were struck that year, mostly in Philadelphia, which means no mint mark on the coin. So, how does one of these common pennies skyrocket to nearly $1 million in value? The answer lies in a mysterious error, an error so rare, it sent shockwaves through the coin-collecting world. Some 1958 pennies were mistakenly double-die obverse coins, meaning the design on the front, Lincoln's portrait, and the inscriptions were struck twice, but slightly misaligned. This created a ghostly doubling effect that's visible to the naked eye, especially on the words, "Liberty," and "In God We Trust." And here's the wild part. Only a few of these coins are known to exist. We're talking about fewer than 5 confirmed examples. That's rarer than many diamonds, rarer than gold. Now, you might be thinking, come on, a penny worth $895,000? That's crazy. Well, you're not wrong, it is crazy. But it's also true. One verified 1958 double-die penny was sold at auction for $336,000. And experts say the value has since climbed to an estimated $895,000 in today's market due to increasing demand and the coin's near-mythical status. Think about that, a coin once worth 1 cent, now approaching $1 million. That's not just inflation, that's history turning into fortune. And here's where things get exciting, you might already have one. The double-die error isn't immediately obvious unless you know what to look for. If you've ever inherited a coin collection, or you have a jar of old wheat pennies tucked away, that tiny disc of copper could be your ticket to a whole new lifestyle. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a quick pause. Because I know what you're thinking. Okay, how do I know if my 1958 penny is the rare one? Don't worry, we're getting there. But first, a quick laugh. If you're watching this while digging through your coin jar right now, you're not alone. Somewhere out there, someone just spilled a whole coffee table of pennies. Hey, it's worth it. I'd do the same. Now here's the truth. Identifying the rare 1958 no-mint mark double-die penny is like uncovering buried treasure. First, under bright light or magnification, look at Lincoln's face. The doubling appears sharp and clear, especially around the eyes and lettering. The Liberty and "In God We Trust" inscriptions should look almost as if they have shadows behind them. If you see this, don't spend that penny. Protect it like your future depends on it, because it just might. Coin collectors and investors across the US are in a frenzy over this coin. With demand soaring and supply almost non-existent, the market value keeps climbing year after year. Think of it this way, people once ignored Bitcoin when it was worth a few cents too. And look where that ended up. The 1958 wheat penny is the Bitcoin of US coinage. Rare, desired, and rapidly appreciating. So what should you do if you find one? Step 1. Don't clean it. Cleaning a rare coin can cut its value dramatically. Step 2. Get it authenticated by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once verified, that penny could become the most valuable item you've ever owned, even more than your car or your house in some cases. And here's the best part. Collectors and investors are actively searching for these coins right now. The demand is real, and prices have never been higher. Just imagine cashing in a 1-cent coin for $895,000. What would you do with that kind of money? Pay off your home? Travel the world? Or maybe start that business you've always dreamed about? But let me leave you with this thought. Fortune favors the curious. Most people pass over old coins without a second glance. But you stayed to the end of this video because something inside you knows that opportunity hides where others don't look. The next time you pick up a penny, don't just see copper, see potential, see history, see possibility, because who knows, your next coin could be worth not just a fortune, but a new beginning. So go ahead, check your pennies. The clock is ticking, the market is hot, and one small coin could change your life forever. If this story inspired you, make sure to subscribe, because in the next video, we'll uncover another coin that's turning heads in the collector's market. One that could make even the 1958 penny jealous. Until then, keep searching, keep believing, and remember, sometimes wealth doesn't come from what's new. It comes from what's been waiting all along.